If you're diagnosed with cancer today, your chances of survival have never been better. But cancer has now surpassed heart disease as the leading cause of non-communicable mortality, and the disparity in cancer care between the haves and have-nots, even within first world countries, has reached shameful levels. You can now detect cancer with an iPhone app, interrogate cancer at its genetic level, and structure sophisticated and personalised cancer treatment plans. And yet cancer care is still delivered with massive capital infrastructure, high staff to patient ratios, and a bigger is better approach to innovation. Over half of all cancer patients require radiation therapy. Less than 1/3 actually receive it, which means that millions of people around the world every year miss out. It's time for a change. Meet Tony and his family. Tony has liver cancer, and because he lives in rural Australia, Tony is 30% more likely to die from this cancer. Poor access to radiation therapy in rural Australia has created a massive inequality across our country, mirrored across most other developed markets, not to mention low and middle income economies where the situation is even worse. To receive treatment, Tony has to travel over 3 hours to Melbourne and stay there for 6 to 8 weeks. Now meet Greg and his family. These are friends of mine. Greg has melanoma, but because he lives in metropolitan Sydney, Greg has access to the very best cancer care that modern medicine can provide. Greg can pop into his clinic for care, sleep in his own bed at night, and I can tell you what a great relief that is for Greg and Hannah with their young family. Cancer does not discriminate on postcode. Cancer care should not either. This is a state-of-the-art radiation therapy system. The system is designed to rotate 3,000 kilos of equipment around a patient lying on the table. This complex engineering design is what enables accurate advanced radiation to target a best guess of the tumour's location in 3 dimensions. But this design is overly complex and expensive. Why would you rotate 3,000 kilos around a patient when you can achieve the same outcome by just rotating the patient? Nano-X simplifies radiation therapy by moving the complexity of the system from hardware to software. We do this by removing most of the moving parts and automating most of the rest. To put a traditional radiation therapy system into a new build-out, typical costs are $6 to $10 million US, with annual service contracts of 10 to 15% total cost. With Nano-X, because we've moved the design complexity to a software solution, and because the radiation beam is always pointing into the ground, we can deliver world-class cancer treatment in a room 1/3 the size, with 1/4 of the on-site staff at 1/5 of the cost. But importantly, Nano-X can do more than that. We have an onboard 3-dimensional imaging system and real-time analysis, which means the Nano-X can see and adapt to the actual location of the tumour in 3 dimensions. So we're not just competing with the big girls at their own game. The Nano-X is a game changer, and it's a big playing field. The total addressable market is over $3.4 billion US per year for new sockets. This doesn't include the 10-year churn. This dwarfs those markets dominated by ResMed and Cochlear, Australia's most revered medical device companies. This is a paradigm shift in radiation therapy. To do it, we've had to think laterally, bringing in a diverse skill set. I was a CSIRO astrophysicist. Phil, I don't know how to use it, the handsome guy in the top right, has over 20 years global business experience bringing in medical devices and imaging systems to market. Paul, bottom right, was the head of the Cancer Care Centre at Stanford University, and Rock, arguably the most successful inventor and entrepreneur in radiation therapy. And we are flanked by critical partners at the Prince of Wales Hospital, the University of Sydney, and ATP Innovations. We're making it happen now, but the journey is by no means complete. Ultimately, we're going to need about $60 million US to commercialise and launch this product globally in about 5 to 6 years. Right now, we're looking for a small fraction of that over the next year as we transition from research into development of a human clinical system. Cancer does not discriminate on postcode, and cancer care should not either.